Okay, so I've been trying to ignore this situation I have because I feel like, oh my gosh, why is another parent doing this? I don't approve. I don't approve. And let me tell you why. Before y'all over there click the button like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that she's this. Listen to me deeply and hear what I have to say. At 12 years old, I started high school, okay? That is a lot younger than most people my age. Most people start high school at 13, 14 years old. At 12, I started high school. Most people are like 12, 7th, 8th grade. 7th grade for some people. And all I could think about at that time was trying to bond, make friends. If we're going to plan to go to Not Scary Farm or we're going to go to Disneyland. I mean, there are things that as kids, I wanted to do, go to the movies, go to the skating rink, go bowling. My parents were very specific and clear on what they expected of me. Number one, I only agreed to raise one of you. So if you're stupid enough to go out there and get yourself knocked up, I'm going to give you away and keep your child in its place because I'm not going to have another child that just being born out of thin air, being taken care of in a horrible way because you chose to be irresponsible. So what I send you to school for is to get good grades. Don't come up here with a report card that says A-. I want to know why you got that minus next to that A. Fix your grades, focus in school, get your awards, perfect attendance, good academic scores, do your junior ROTC, play varsity track and field, and focus on that. Get yourself into college and get a full scholarship because I don't have the money to pay for your college education. Why on earth would you be encouraging your kid at 12 years old to make such a strong, life-changing decision? Now, here's the thing. It's not that at 14 or 15 when I started developing, I didn't start, my hormones didn't kick in, and I didn't start figuring out the type of person I am. Am I heterosexual? Am I homosexual? What am I? I started developing that. But at that the focal point I had because of what my parents created, I wasn't allowed to watch TV during the weekday. So the media could not influence my thought process. I was allowed to watch TV on the weekends, and all I wanted to do was catch up on all the shows. That's So Raven, Proud Family, Kim Possible, Even Stevens. That's all I wanted to see. I didn't have any thought processes to go on MySpace when it first came out to go and see what's going on. Nowadays, the media is people's education, right? Even kids. Kids are knowing how to have sex at 10 years old. They don't even know how to read yet. So why would my parents make a focal point on sexuality at 12 years old? No, because you don't even know how to pay a bill. Do you even know what a bill looks like? Do you even know what it costs to feed you? Do you know what it costs to even buy clothes, let alone even take care of yourself? I don't feel like 12 years old is an appropriate age to be so definite and solidifying something that a child who's still growing up, we are changing. Most of us don't stop changing until 25. Right now, I don't agree with this situation. I don't agree with how, even if this is a bone of contention and this is something that you guys want to discuss, why not keep it within your family, out of the media? It almost seems like this is done for attention, like you want people to pay attention to you. And I know some people will be like, oh my gosh, don't talk about this because you can't tell somebody how to raise their kids. Well, if I can't say nothing about this, then don't put it on my Twitter feed. I shouldn't know anything about it. Like, it almost seems like y'all are on here promoting something that's not fair to the kid. I don't even know what to do because I'm thinking he was born a boy, and until he grows up and he's mature enough to really figure out what's going on within himself, really define himself, figure out whether he's trans, heterosexual, homosexual, there's a time that you need to figure that out. Right now, I just need to just focus on school. Figure out how to go to school and come back and make sure nobody steals your lunch. Figure out how to go to school and get good grades and make sure your teachers don't call me and tell me that you were lollygagging while you were in school. Figure out how to get a scholarship so you get into a good school. I get that he was born into wealthy parents and that's the situation, but I don't agree with this. I don't, because I think that it's almost like in a way, I say this because I at my job, there was a lady that came up to me and she said that her daughter at 11 years old came up to her and says, Mom, I think I'm bisexual. And her response to her was, baby, I love you no matter what, and da-da-da-da-da. I remember when I went to my parents and I told them that I was, I thought I was lesbian because I was a tomboy when I was a freshman, and I was such a tomboy. I hated wearing makeup. I didn't do my hair, and that's usually when I got teased and stuff like that. But everybody was telling me, you know what, you may be butch and you don't know. You may be gay and you don't know. Being that I had yet to even know what I was attracted to at all, I was just focused on getting good grades because that's what I was going to get in trouble for if I didn't do that. I wasn't paying attention to nothing. So when people were telling me what I was, I told myself, well, maybe I am gay. I don't see any guy that's cute, so maybe that's what I am. So I went home and told that to my parents. My dad was like, why on earth will possess you think that you can come and talk to me about that? You're supposed to be in school learning. Don't even come to me tell me you're attracted to boys, girls. I don't care. You should be attracted to nothing right now. Be attracted to yourself and your grades. That's it. Focus on that. When you're done and you get yourself in a position in life where you can take care of yourself when I'm dead, then we can discuss this. But until then, don't tell me anything about it. I like this person. I think this person's cute. I think I'm this. Focus on what you're supposed to focus on as a child. Enjoy life. Go play video games. Go out with your friends. Do some crazy stuff. Do things that mom and dad will be irritated about. Don't come and fixate on something when you're so young. Now, it's not that I'm saying that a child doesn't know, because we learn as we grow up and our bodies change, we at some point realize who we are, who we're attracted to, whether it's same sex or opposite sex. We figure that out over time. But that should not be something that we're so fixated on at such a young age. Give us time to grow up. Most people don't even know who they are till they're 25, 30. Like, why? Oh, I'm just watching this and I'm getting mad because I feel like what we see on TV is kind of changing what we're supposed to be doing. Because what people put on the mainstream media is what people think is cool. And so they start doing it. I don't want to see a heterosexual couple kissing on my kids' cartoon shows. I don't want to see a homosexual couple kissing on my kids' cartoon shows. I don't want to see anybody kissing unless you're saying goodbye to mom and dad and giving them a peck on the cheek. I don't want my child to even think the idea of sex or sexuality is even a topic of conversation. What I want you to do is put some learning something on, teach them something. Hell, there's a bunch of history stuff we don't know still. Our kids are still trying to figure out. Like, you got all these things you're putting subliminally, all these shows, and now these kids are either they're body shaming themselves because they think they're not pretty because all the surgeries and all the people we see on TV are all cinched up with the big booty and stuff like that. So now you got this kid wondering whether they're pretty or not. Either that, or you got somebody that don't look like as dark as this or as light as this, or maybe have this curly hair but it's not too curly, and they're seeing it and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with them. Or you got a bad image of what a model is supposed to be like. Y'all remember those years when models used to be like size 0.5? And people used to think that people actually look like that in real life. And we found out later they were starving themselves, allegedly. Because that's what you see. Now, the idea of sex and sexuality has become a huge topic in our mainstream media. And the ironic thing is that nowadays with social media and iPhones and all these gadgets, it's not just adults that have access to it. When I was a kid, we had payphones at our school. My parents had cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone until my senior year when I was about to graduate and leave the house. So I had to use a payphone in school. So I didn't have time to sit there and Google stuff and, oh my gosh, this is what's going on Instagram. Oh my gosh, look at the shade room, look at Twitter. I didn't have time to do any of that. So I had to focus on what was important, what my parents wanted me to do. Nowadays, that's not the case. Kids in freaking 4th grade, when I was teaching, were walking around with iPhone freaking X's. And they're kids, and they're able to look stuff up. So now sex and sexuality is now what's been going on in Hollywood and stuff like that. So you got kids now looking at things and having their minds molded without the option of at least experiencing life itself and let life teach them. Now, I don't like the way this is going because I feel like we shouldn't even be hearing about it. I shouldn't even know. If this is what your child is going through, or this is who your child identifies, I should not know. I don't care. I don't want to know. I shouldn't know. This is not news to me. It's not. And the approach is just, I don't even know. This is entirety. It's just, the whole situation just irks me. It irks me because I feel like there's no opportunity to be a child. That part is being taken away. And that part is the innocence that needs to be maintained for as long as possible. I don't even think that the child should be, they said that you're supposed to talk to your kids about sex. Yes, you are. But I had a different type of sex topic. I didn't have a topic like, make sure that you use protection in this, and this. I knew that no matter what happened, I could not get pregnant. And the way that my parents put it to me is that I could not get pregnant. So whether or not you look for this, look for that, I made sure to stay. You can even kiss me. I thought I was going to get pregnant with a kiss. I wouldn't even let you touch me because of how I was taught to think. And so I focused in school. At a certain point, I wasn't even on Facebook because I wanted to graduate. And that's the image that my parents, and give me the time to grow up, give me the time to figure life out. If you impose certain things on people so young in life and not allow the experiences to teach them, it creates a problem. It's a focus on that. Nowadays, we got people who are having kids by the age of 13, 14. People who are having sex by the age of 10. Like, shift away from talking about sex and sexuality for a long, just let us breathe. Let us breathe. Let the kids breathe. Let's think about something else that's much more, let them learn something first. Because 12, I think, is too young. I really do. I think it's way too young, because I think that you're still changing. Your mind is still growing. Your mind is still adapting. And if you're 30 or you're 25 and you come and say, hey, you know what? I was born male. I was born male but identify as female. I was born female but identify as male. At that age, I'm more inclined to say, okay, what do you want me to call you? But at 12, hell no. All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye.